The CSU Cougars play here. Cougar basketball is brought to you by Kinetic Credit Union, Burger King, Pepsi, Mediacom, Kia, La Quinta Inn & Suites, Valley Hospitality, Waffle House, Buckhead Steak and Wine, the Houston Clinic, the Cannon Brew Pub, Houlihan's, CSU Dining Services, by the Cougar Club, by the CSU Bookstore, by Nuke's Eatery, by CSU's Girls in the Game, and by Coca-Cola.
Tonight, the Columbus State University Cougars are at home to take on the Georgia College Bobcats in Peach Belt Conference action. Hi again, everyone. Scott Miller courtside here at Herbert Green Court inside the Lumpkin Center, where we're going to play a makeup game tonight from a previously rained out game. That's right, this is basketball, but we had that monsoon last Wednesday, and the roof developed a little leak, and so the men's game could not be played and postponed to tonight, and that's why it's a men's only game here tonight. The Cougars come in with a 7-6 league record. Georgia College is 6-7, and CSU 12-9 overall, and reverse for the Bobcats 9-12. CSU beat Georgia College in Milledgeville 92-79 on January the 8th. A little earlier, I had a chance to talk with Coach Robert Moore. Joining us here at courtside is Robert Moore, the head coach for the Cougars. And Robert, this is a makeup of last Wednesday when we had a rainout. Yes, we had a basketball rainout. It's been a crazy week for us, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I told somebody I never heard of a rainout in basketball. I coached the inside sports, so I could never have my game canceled, but one got canceled.
Well, and so here we are, and now we've got to come off of what was a disastrous second half for us and a loss against a really good Lander team on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. I thought we played a great first half. I watched that film this weekend. I thought the second half we just collapsed. Our guys got to understand in this league, even if your shots are not going, you got to guard and play tough and still keep playing. And I was so proud of them in the first half, but I just thought we just gave it away the second half. And hopefully we learn from that. And you know, we don't have a quick turnaround, so we got a quick turnaround, so we got to be ready for Georgia College today.
All right, let's talk about Georgia College. Mark Gaines, good guy, good coach, does a good job with them.
Oh, great job. He's under that tree with Terry Sellers, and Terry Sellers did a great job while he was here, and Mark learned a lot from him. These guys going to come in ready to play. He's playing a little different style than last year. Last year he went inside and slowed it down. Now he got a bunch of guys that can hit threes. So if you let them get double-figure threes, you're in trouble. So we got to guard a three-point line, and we got to rebound and put pressure on these guys and create some turnovers.
As always, we have to be more concerned about ourselves than the opponent.
Oh, yeah. I think right now it's more of a psyche, Scott. We got we got 7 games left to play, 3 or 4 of them at home. We got to take care of home court, and we got to steal a couple on the road. And I tell our guys, you know, in a football term, we got to treat every game like it's a Super Bowl because we don't put ourselves in that situation. We got some good wins, but we got some bad losses, and now we just need to go on a streak, and maybe those good wins can show the NCAA tournament that we can beat some teams.
All right, Robert, good luck. Talk to you afterwards.
All right, thanks, Scott.
All right, Coach Robert Moore and Scott Miller here at courtside, joined as usual at home by my friend and broadcast partner, former Cougar great Mike Sanda. Has a weird vibe here tonight because it's a game that's not on the schedule that people have, so there won't be many people here, and it's a makeup of a rainout.
Very strange. A lot of fans disguised as empty seats right now, so not much of a crowd in here, but you still have to come ready to play. It's just one of those crazy things that happens, and coming off a really, really bad second half performance on Saturday, I know Coach Moore is going to be looking to his guys to kind of get things back on track here against a Georgia College team that they have already defeated at their place.
Well, Robert mentioned it, compared it to football a little bit about the way you treat it here going down the stretch. And you can also say that it's almost, with the 7 games remaining, you have to sort of treat it, I think, like each game is a playoff game, because that's going to be your ultimate goal.
That's true, and really now Robert and his bunch are playing for a seed. You know, it would be great if they could get up to that 4 seed so they could host that first round tournament game. It's going to be an uphill climb, but really now all you can do is win games.
All right, the Bobcats come out all in green, trimmed in white. We'll go to the basket to your left. Cougars all in white, trimmed in red and blue. Zay Horton was one of the happiest guys that last Wednesday's game got postponed because he was not going to play. He was out with a knee injury. He did play on Saturday, and he's out there tonight.
So a break for Zay and a break for CSU. You always want to have your full roster of players, and especially one of your best players.
We are set to get underway, and the tap is controlled by CSU. BG into the front courts to Jalen Thomas. Anthony Moore inside of the arc, hands it to BG. It's knocked away, he got it back. Bryant Gibbons, free throw line in the paint, kicks it to Zay in the corner for 3. Good, that's a great start.
Great start. BG coming off a screen there, found Zay in the corner, and he drilled it.
Head of the key, Justin Cave. Kicks it up top to Simpson. Simpson gets it out on the wing to Parks. Parks going to the hoop and scores.
Well, Parks, a stocky post player, just went right by Zay that time. No help there either.
JT into the front court. Zay head of the key. Brian Gibbons driving to the baseline, kicks it up to Cam Paulding. Out to Zay for 3. Shot it long. Cam Paulding with a rebound outside of the lane. Up and in, and he's fouled. Count the bucket.
Well, a major advantage for CSU down in the post area, and that time Cam Paulding did a nice job of going and getting an offensive rebound. I mean, this is a game that if I'm Cam Paulding, I'm looking at it, you know, he could have a field day down there because he has those guys for Georgia College outmatched.
Their big guy that our fans might be familiar with the last couple of years, Cole Roberts, has not played. He's out this year with a knee injury. Free throw is no good. Rebound goes to the Bobcats. Into the front court. Cave hands it off to Jordan Thomas. Drive off the glass, good.
Jordan Thomas, just a good player. He comes in averaging a little over 19 a game. Very quick guard who can really score it.
Anthony Moore down the left side of the lane, off the glass too hard. Weak side rebound goes to Wesley Simpson of the Bobcats. Knocked away by Anthony Moore. They get the loose ball on the wing though. Jumper outside of the lane is no good. Rebound Cam Paulding. Outlet to JT. To Zay Horton. Back to JT. Dribbles over toward the sideline. Paulding setting a screen for him. JT drives into the paint, kicks it out on the wing to Bryant Gibbons. 13 seconds on the shot clock. BG head of the key for 3. Spun out on him. Rebound Bobcats.
Not a very good possession there from CSU. They tried to set a couple ball screens, end up with a long 3.
Slowly into the front court is Wesley Simpson. Bounce pass down low to big Chris Parks, and he missed a little easy one, missed a tip up, and they get a deflected rebound. Too many opportunities there. Wesley Simpson near the midcourt line, hands it off to Justin Cave. Chris Parks, high post, takes Cam Paulding to the glass and draws the foul.
That's clearly a matchup Georgia College thinks they can win on the offensive end. Cam Paulding has the height advantage there, but Parks, who you wouldn't think would have the quickness advantage, has gone by his man twice now early in this game.
So Chris Parks at the line. Free throw is good.
Parks comes in averaging 11.3 points a game and just 4.7 rebounds, which is a little surprising.
All tied at 5 here. And free throw is good. And the Bobcats have their first lead of the night. Anthony Moore, JT, left wing. Zay head of the key. Hunter Preston goes to the scorer's table. BG left wing. Cam Paulding posting up against Parks, trying to get in, but the big guy won't let him. Back to Anthony Moore, 6 on the shot clock. Back to Cam Paulding, and a hook shot is no good, and the rebound goes to the Bobcats.
Parks did a nice job of pushing Cam away from the basket there, forcing him to shoot about a 10 or 12 foot hook. Cam's got to get a little deeper down in the post there.
Driving to the baseline, BG cuts the drive off of Simpson. They throw it back. Parks has it momentarily, gets it to a teammate, Cave, who gets it to Simpson. 5 on the shot clock. They're still way out there. 3 on the shot clock. Jumper in the key is good at the shot clock buzzer.
Ran it all the way down. They created the mismatch with the switch. Cam Paulding guarding the perimeter player, and nice fadeaway shot.
Anthony Moore, Zay Horton, BG, 15:46 on the clock here in the first half. Anthony Moore, mid-range jumper good.
They're just going to back off Anthony Moore, and Moore taking advantage. Nice 15-foot jumper.
Georgia College about to have a line change as 5 go to the scorer's table. Parks, high post, right side. Looks for some help, puts it on the floor once, picks it up. Gets it to Cave. Knocked out of his hands by Anthony Moore into the CSU bench. Still belongs to Georgia College. That'll get us to a media timeout. 15-17 to play in the first half. Georgia College leads CSU 8-7 on Cougar Sports TV.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
8-7, Georgia College on top at the first media here in the first half.
Both teams 3 of 7 from the field, and Georgia College clinging to a 1-point lead here early.
All right, 5 new players out for the Bobcats now.
And we saw that, or something close to it, with young Harris, who would bring in 4 at a time, but Coach Janus bringing in a new 5 here.
All right, they've got the ball in front of the CSU bench. Crawford looking to get it in, and he does. Great pass inside, layup good.
Just snuck behind the defense that time, and you're right, Scott, that was a beautiful touch pass to A.J. James for his first bucket.
BG behind the arc, a drive. Up top, Anthony Moore. Brian Gibbons. Anthony Moore to the baseline. Put it up, no. Rebound knocked out of bounds by CSU.
Anthony Moore there looking for some contact and didn't get any. And really needs to finish that play.
Jalen Thomas out and Carl Ivey in for the Cougars.
See if we can get a little instant offense from Carl.
Into the front court. Deckard. Crawford between the circles against Ivey in the man-to-man. Crawford still out behind the arc. Picks it up now. 9 on the shot clock. Into the paint. A spin. Off the glass. Good. What a tough move and finish by Coleman.
Yeah, Christian Coleman that time just took Anthony Moore right off the dribble. Beautiful play.
12-7. BG kicks it to Zay Horton, drives in, puts it up short off the glass. Long rebound slapped out to Gibbons. Hunter Preston headed the key for three. No good. And Anthony Moore knocked a rebound out of bounds. Oh, we're going to get a foul on it, too, on Anthony.
Anthony going over the back that time. And here early, man, CSU just looks disjointed on both ends of the floor. Just not a good start. Kind of maybe a bit of a carryover from that second half up in Greenwood.
Slowly into the front court here. Crawford gets it to Thomas, Brandon Thomas. Back to Crawford. Kicks it on the wing, down on the baseline, back out to Deckard. Ball knocked away. Crawford picked it up. 8 on the shot clock. Drives to the right elbow. Shoots and misses. Zay Horton with a rebound. Outlet to Bryant Gibbons in the middle of the floor. Down the left side of the lane. Kicks it out for Stanley Taylor. No good. Rebound Bobcats. So CSU 27% from the floor here in the early going. Deckard threw it out of bounds. Miscommunication there as Thomas was cutting toward Deckard, and he threw it over him.
I think if I'm Coach Gaines, I'm blaming that one on Brandon Thomas. He kind of took off for the basket when the ball was coming his way.
Bryant Gibbons head of the key. Now for three, just to the right, no good. Hunter Preston tipped it out, kept it alive to BG. Dishes tried to hit Tay, breaking underneath the basket and threw it wide and out of bounds.
Just ugly basketball right now. CSU not getting anything done. No continuity, some bad shots.
Into the front court. Crawford drives inside of the arc, falls down, maintains the dribble and the possession, kicks it out. Jumper is wide right, air ball, and out of bounds.
I thought for a second there Georgia College had thrown that ball off Hunter Preston, but that's not so. CSU needs to get into an offensive set here and run something and get a good look.
Been no rhythm at all.
None.
BG hands it off to Carl Ivy, drives into the paint. Good pass to Hunter Preston. Good, and he's fouled. Count the bucket.
Well, there's some rhythm there. Carl Ivy getting into the lane, little penetration, dishing the ball off to Hunter Preston. Nice finish by Hunter.
Foul was on Christian Koneman. And Hunter's free throw is good. We're going to press off the made free throw. In the backcourt, they beat the press, so they've got a 3-on-1, and they'll pull a three and miss it. And a rebounding foul on the Bobcats.
Georgia College did beat the pressure there, got the wide open look, and that's really what CSU was looking for, not necessarily the wide open look, but a quick shot to get this game sped up a little bit.
Georgia College likes to slow it down. That's just the way their team is built this year. BG head of the key down the middle of the lane. Leaves it for Stanley Taylor. Drives to the baseline. Off the glass, good.
That's 2 possessions in a row now. CSU's gotten that ball into the paint. They need to go to the rim.
And the game is tied at 12. 11:50 to play in the first half. Up top on the right side is Crawford. Kicked it down to a 3 in the corner. No, they got a pass that went right into their hands and then lost it to Stanley Taylor. Zay Horton, bounce pass to Hunter Preston. Down low on the left side, puts it on the floor, kicks it down to the corner. Ivy for 3, shot it long. Backside rebounding foul. Maybe on the shot, the foul on the tip-in attempt. That'll get us to the media timeout. And when we come back, it will be free throws being shot within a 12-12 game. 11:18 to play in the first half on Cougar Sports TV.
fall in love with sports, our universities are working every day to keep college sports safe, so you can watch them play with a little less worry and a little more joy.
(12-12) ball game, 11-18 left in the first half.
The offense for CSU has come alive a little bit to erase the 5-point Georgia College lead. We're all knotted up at 12, and CSU doing a little bit better job of getting into the paint, getting that ball up on the rim. This particular lineup for Georgia College, not extremely athletic, not very big, and CSU doing a good job getting on the offensive glass that last possession.
Zay Horton will go to the line. Hunter Preston kept that possession alive with a tip out. He is really good at that. When he doesn't get a rebound, he usually kind of gets a hand on it up there to keep it alive. Sometimes it goes to us, sometimes it doesn't.
But that's a good point, Scott. He's always very active around the basket, and as you said, we don't get them all, but at least he gives us a chance to keep a possession alive, and did a really nice job on that last one to allow Zay to get to the line.
Zay made the first one. Another line change for the Bobcats. The starters back in, and free throw is good. So 14-12. Old School has checked in for CSU, by the way. Into the front court, Bobcats with it. Justin Cave near the logo, kicks it on the left wing, gets it back. Simpson on the right wing. At the right elbow is Sloan. Cave to Simpson. A long three, good.
Bit surprising there. Cave decided to pull the trigger from deep and found the bottom of the basket.
Behind the arc, Carl Ivy, Bryant Givens, Hunter Preston, baseline jumper, no good. Backside rebound, Bobcats.
That was a good possession by CSU. The ball went where it was supposed to go. Hunter Preston just could not convert.
Had good ball movement that time. Simpson near the logo. Kicks it on the right wing to Cave. Sloan head of the key. Pass intended for Parks, out of bounds.
Trying to go down low to Parks, where he has done a pretty nice job early in this game, but a very poor pass from Sloan.
It's the only game in the league tonight. Behind the arc, BG, Hunter Preston, post up, mid post, weak side, off the glass, good, and he's fouled. Count the buckets.
Such an advantage for CSU. They're going right to Hunter Preston. That's two possessions in a row they've gone to him, and on the second one, Hunter Preston converts.
And 16-15 Cougars.
Well, Hunter Preston's had some really good games in the second half of the year. Very quiet early, but he's been quite the revelation for Coach Moore.
He's hit both free throws, 17-15. Parks, by the way, has 2 fouls. He stays out there. Jordan Thomas, Simpson in the logo. 9 on the shot clock. This is what they like to do. 5 on the shot clock. Simpson up top. Cave for 3 at the buzzer. No. Tipped up and no. And into the hands of Old School. School into the front court. Drives inside of the arc. Gets it to Hunter Preston in the paint. Kicks it out to Carl Ivy. Puts it on the floor. Bryant Gibbons up top. Play instructions from Coach Robert Moore. BG in the logo with 11 seconds. Driving into the paint and traveled with the ball.
Coach Moore called for the high ball screen from Hunter Preston that time, and Brian Gibbons got into the lane, but shuffled those feet. Brian Gibbons looks confused by the call. Thought it was a pretty good one.
Cave. Up top, Thomas, Sloan, Parks, and a foul on Chris Horton.
Old school, not moving the feet there. And Brian, I mentioned Brian Gibbons being confused. I guess these guys watch the NBA a lot. You can take as many steps as you want in that league.
You really can. Pack a suitcase.
It's crazy.
Up top, Sloan. Jordan Thomas. Thomas drives to the glass. Puts a shot up, no, but tipped in by Simpson.
Good defense that time on Jordan Thomas, but to get the stop, you have to grab the rebound, and Georgia College doing a nice job on the offensive glass. Yeah,
Stanley Taylor made a nice stop, but they got the rebound. Hunter Preston spinning in the paint. Up, under, and in. Good.
Boy, what a cool move that time from Hunter Preston. He spun back into the lane, spun back around, and scooped it up and in. Really pretty play.
Cougars up by 2. 8 minutes to play here in the first half. Makeup game against the Bobcats from a game postponed last week. Baseline drive, layup good by Thomas.
That was a great play by Jordan Thomas. He went back door that time and able to gather the ball and lay it in. Really nice.
Old school. Taylor up top. Tay gets it to Carl Ivy. Zay Horton. Ivy, shot fake, hands it off to Old School, and we've got an offensive foul on CSU. On Ivy, and that'll get us to a media timeout with 7:29 to play here in the first half, all tied at 19 on Cougar Sports TV.
As Division II student athletes, we are committed to being our best.
Division II National SAC is proud to partner with the Sports Science Institute to play a role in the cardiac safety and health of student athletes.
Although many student athletes with heart conditions live healthy, active lives, up to 10 NCAA student athletes die each year of sudden cardiac death during athletic activities.
The facts are that immediate delivery of CPR and AED saves lives, so everyone should be CPR and AED trained. Please join us in this important initiative. Make it yours.
$7:29 to play in the first half, all even at 19.
Feels like CSU is up 5 or 6, but you look up at the scoreboard, that's not the case. I'll tell you, Hunter Preston having a great first half, 8 points for Hunter.
Boy, if he's not the best sixth man in the league, I don't know who is.
He's a sixth starter is what he is, but you're right, Scott. He comes off the bench, very active, just does a good job on both ends.
Into the front court, kick it on the right wing, back up top. Simpson backs it out now, gets it to Big Parks, head of the key. Back to Simpson, 10 on the shot clock. Free throw line jumper is no good. Rebound, Stanley Taylor high for the rebound. Gets it to Jalen Thomas. JT into the front court. Brian Gibbons on the bench getting his first breather of the night. JT behind the arc, right side. Hunter Preston, mid-post. In the lane, up top, Tay for 3, no. And a rebound, Sloan of the Bobcats.
Well, Stanley Taylor was wide open there. Hunter Preston doing something good with the ball every time he touches it, and Stanley needs to make that one.
Jordan Thomas hands it off to Cave. Cave back up top to Thomas. Cave behind the arc. JT guarding him. Free throw line, squares up, shoots, misses. Great rebound by Hunter Preston. Outlet to JT, left side of the floor. Stop the ball at the arc, kicks it out to Anthony Moore. There's Stanley Taylor, baseline traveled.
Stanley having a word with the official. Looked like the official said you picked up the pivot foot, and Stanley will head to the bench.
And Brian Gibbons back in. Still tied at 19 with 6 minutes to play in the half. Drives Simpson in the paint. Parks will take a three and miss it. And Gibbons grabs the rebound. BG to JT. Puts it on the floor, down the lane. A runner, good.
Nice shot by JT using the glass right there. First basket for JT.
21-19. Cougars on top. Between the circles, Cave drives inside of the arc. Gets it down low to Thomas. Trying to get Parks, who was wide open on the weak side, but ball's knocked out of bounds. And another line change here, 5 for 5.
Yeah, Jordan Thomas going back door again that time, but Zay doing a beautiful job of cutting him off and not allowing him to get that ball up on the rim.
Crawford, the trigger man, to the right of his basket. Looking to get it in. He needs some help. He's in trouble, but he just got it in right in front of our bench, right on the sideline, and he gets it back from Thomas. Crawford driving and runs all over Jalen Thomas. JT is so good at drawing the charges, and you could see that one coming from a mile away.
Yes, you could. JT got to the right spot, held his ground, took the punishment. Good play.
He took a charge Saturday against one of Lander's big guys. I didn't know if he was going to get up. I mean, but he just stood there and never flinched, and he did get up.
He made a good point. Some guys are good at it, others not so much.
Zay Horton, Hunter Preston drives into the paint. Great dish to Anthony Moore. Layup good.
Boy, that's just good basketball. Hunter Preston once again getting a touch and doing something productive. Beautiful assist.
23-19. Cougars. Crawford behind the arc on the right side. Dribbles up near the midcourt line now with 13 on the shot clock. 10 on the shot clock. Behind the arc on the left side, 7 on the clock. Drives to the free throw line, shoots and misses. And a rebound tipped into the hands of Zay Horton. Cougars want to run. Zay up the left side of the floor, down the right side of the lane, off the glass. Good! And he's fouled. Count the bucket.
Zay Horton, not the most muscular guy you'll ever see, but he muscled his way to the basket that time. Really nice play. And just shows you if you get the ball up there on that square, it's going to go in. It was a nice play by Zay Horton.
Deckard committed the foul. And Zay's free throw is good. He's got 8 points. Cougars are on a 7-0 run and lead it by 7 with 4 minutes to play in the half. In a hurry back the other way. JT tried to take the charge that time, but Thomas did a nice job of avoiding it and made the basket.
Yeah, good call. Brandon Thomas did a good job of just kind of stopping on a dime there and not running over JT.
26-21 Cougars. JT left wing. Hunter Preston, they give him the three. He takes it and he fouls after he took the shot and missed it. The official says he kicked his legs out. That's an unusual call. You don't see that much.
You do not. Now, he did kick his leg out. There's no question, but a lot of times they just let it go and don't call a foul there. Interesting.
All right, media timeout, 26-21, Cougars on top. 3:34 left here in the first half on Cougar Sports TV.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% would go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have
3:34 left in the first half, 26-21, Cougars on top. We had a chance to talk to the official during the break about that call, Mike.
Yeah, I always enjoy chatting with the official. Nice guy, came over here and gave us a good explanation for the call, and we both saw Hunter Preston kick his leg out, and he said that is an offensive foul.
And the official even said we don't see it a lot either. So Bobcats with it, driving the baseline, kicking it back off the glass. Good is A.J. James.
That was pretty offense there. You had Deckard going to the rim and a beautiful cut into the middle of the lane and an easy 2 for Georgia College.
So the Bobcats are back to within 3 with 3 minutes left in the half. Zay Horton drives to the baseline, kicks it to Hunter Preston. Hunter in the paint, and a held ball is called. The arrow belongs to the Bobcats. I think Hunter got away with a travel before that. That's what the Bobcat bench was wanting. That's what Mark Gaines is talking about over there.
He's having a chat with the officials. I would agree with Coach Gaines. There was a missed travel call, but they end up with possession anyway.
In the backcourt is Crawford. Into the front court now. Crawford inside of the arc. Bad pass in the paint. Anthony Moore comes away with it. JT, left wing, drives to the baseline. They cut it off, so he has to dribble back up top. And gets it to Bryant Gibbons in the logo. BG behind the arc on the right side. Cougars up by 3. 2:22 to play in the half. 11 on the shot clock. JT in front of us. Anthony Moore way up with 7 seconds. Bryant Gibbons, right wing, drives to the baseline. Reverse layup. Good! And he's fouled. Count the bucket. What a heads-up play, and what a play by Bryant Gibbons.
Bryant Gibbons late in the clock there. CSU, really, it was honestly a poor possession. They were getting absolutely nothing done, and Bryant Gibbons finally said, all right, enough is enough. I'm going to take this ball to the basket, and took a little bit of contact. Nice play by BG.
His first points of the night, by the way. And the free throw is good.
Well, when you have a poor possession and you can still get 3 points, I'll take that every time.
Into the front court, Justin Cave gets it down, reverse layup, no good by Sloan, but he's fouled and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
A beautiful pass from Cave to Sloan that time, and CSU really fortunate that Sloan didn't finish that play. He was right at the basket.
So Austin Sloan will shoot 2 and miss the first one. Austin Sloan's a freshman out of Warner Robins, Georgia, Houston County. Free throw good.
And you remember Isaac Thomas that played for them?
Very much so, yeah.
I can see a little bit of Isaac Thomas in him. Not quite as, I guess they're about the same size.
29-24, Cougars with the ball. 1:48 to play the half. Zay Horton takes a long 3, misses it. Backside rebound, Parks.
You don't mind Zay shooting that shot, but not in that spot. Way too early in the clock for that one.
Simpson to Cave, right wing. Set a screen for him. Fight through it. Parks fumbled the pass. Bounced right back out to the Bobcats. Cave. 4 on the shot clock. Simpson a long 2, hits the iron. They get a rebound. Hunter Preston blocks a shot. They get it back, and a foul on CSU. Man.
Bit of a tough break for CSU. I thought CSU did a really good job playing defense there for the 29 seconds of that possession, and the ball hit the rim and went straight down, and Georgia College able to come up with it.
So Simpson at the line shooting 2, and the first one is good.
Be interested to see, Scott, if Coach Gaines stays with this 5 for 5 in the second half. That second bunch is not nearly as productive as this first 5.
And the second one is good. 29-26. So the Cougars by 3 with 1 minute to play in the first half. JT. Zay head of the key down the left side of the lane. Spins inside, puts it up. Oh, no good, but he got his own miss, and he put it back in.
Just a great individual play. First one didn't go in. He went and got his own. And Zay to double figures now with 10.
And the lead is 5 with 40 seconds left in the half. Look out over on the side as Zay Horton got tied up over there with Thomas, and Zay got off balance.
And Jordan Thomas just stopped and looked like a bit of a game of leapfrog over there. And Zay just could not stop his momentum and basically crawled onto Jordan Thomas's back.
So unlike when you're driving and you stop too quickly, you're in trouble, but not in basketball.
Not in basketball.
Free throw is no good, though. Missed the front end of a 1-and-1, and the rebound goes to CSU. 27 seconds left in the half. 7 less than that on the shot clock. Zay Horton, we've got a foul on the Bobcats.
Sloan that time getting a bit physical there with Hunter Preston, who is trying to set a screen at the top of the key. Really a bad foul.
So Hunter Preston, first one's good. He has a sweet shot, doesn't he?
Well, I don't know if I would call it sweet, but very effective. From a fundamental standpoint, it's not the best, but very, very effective.
33-26.
I mean, that's what matters, right? He makes them.
That's really the only thing that matters. 13 seconds. Bobcats hold it. In the jump circle, 6 seconds. Jordan Thomas one-on-one against BG with 2 seconds. And he's not going to get a shot off. A held ball is called at the buzzer. A bad possession for the Bobcats to end the half, trailing by 7.
Well, CSU certainly didn't play their best, but that was very impressive by Brian Gibbons right there. Just one-on-one with Jordan Thomas, and he won that battle, and CSU takes the 7-point lead to the half.
All right, we'll come back and have a look at the first half stats in just a moment here on Cougar Sports TV.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Don't you worry, my child. Everything's gonna be just fine. Little darling, you keep on walking, 'cause I ain't never gonna leave your side.
As kids fall in love with sports, our universities are working every day to keep college sports safe, so you can watch them play with a little less worry and a little more joy.
As Division II student athletes, we are committed to being our best.
Division II National SEC is proud to partner.
Scott Miller, Mike Sanda back at Herbert Green Court at the Lumpkin Center, and the Cougars up 33-26 here at the half.
For Georgia College in that first half, they were 10 of 28 from the floor, 35.7%, just 1 of 7 from three-point range. They were 5 of 7 from the free throw line. Georgia College was led in scoring by Wesley Simpson. He had 9 points. Chris Parks had 4. Jordan Thomas, their leading scorer. CSU did a good job on him. He only had 4 in the first half. A.J. James with 4. Brandon Thomas with 2. And Christian Coneman with 2. For CSU, They were 12 of 26, 46.2%, 1 of 8 from three-point range, and that was the very first three of the game from Zay Horton. CSU 8 of 9 from the free throw line. Cougars were led in scoring by Zay Horton, who had 10 in the first half. Hunter Preston also with 10. Jalen Thomas with 2, Bryant Givens with 3, Cam Paulding with 2, Anthony Moore 4, and Stanley Taylor with 2. So Hunter Preston and Zay Horton scoring 20 of CSU's 33 in that first half. Cougars lead 33-26 at the half.
All right, we're going to take a break for a few minutes, and when we come back, it'll be just about ready to get the second half underway here with the Cougars on the Top 33-26 on Cougar Sports TV.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
These are your teams, your players, your community of fans. This is where they play, where they practice, where you cheer. At every meet, every event, every game. Your community is passionate, dedicated, supportive. You know the tension of a close game and the thrill of the win. So while you're cheering, keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay. Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Notify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Opportunity to me means doing the things that will make you a better future. I always dreamed of graduating from college. So being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed was paying off. Having an athletic scholarship for the University of Mount Olive was key for my success. I had the opportunity to not only get an education, but be able to develop as an individual.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
NCAA Teamworks is how the NCAA, member schools, student athletes, and corporate champions and partners actively engage in outreach efforts where national championships are played. Through initiatives such as NCAA Community 101 service learning projects, disaster relief efforts, youth clinics, backpack and school supply donations, and support of Special Olympics and the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the NCAA and its partners work together to leave a lasting legacy in the community. For more information on NCAA Teamworks, go to ncaa.com/teamworks.
path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
On and off the court, we're focused on creating lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. More college athletes are earning degrees than ever before, but we've still got work to do. That's why we're raising the bar for incoming freshmen, so they're prepared when they get to campus. And why teams can't play in championships unless they make the grade. Education matters, and putting academics first creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity. While they're focused on success, we're focused on them. Because protecting college athletes doesn't only happen on the field. After the buzzer, it's about healthier student athletes. So we're reforming to meet their needs, investing in groundbreaking research, and changing the conversation around mental health. We're working hard to protect college athletes because prioritizing their well-being creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity. Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes, college sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay, get in the way, and disrupt the situation.
Notify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
From court to court and lane to lane under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
It's more than a whistle or a call. We're committed to giving college athletes a fair shot, on and off the field. Covering the full cost of attendance, because college costs go beyond tuition. Keeping dreams on track, regardless of performance or injury. And creating equal opportunities and inclusive environments. It's about respecting college athletes and prioritizing fairness to build a pathway to lifelong opportunity.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experience as possible.
Label me.
You know you want to.
Don't be shy.
You do it behind my back.
So say it to my face.
You don't know me.
You know what I am?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm a striker.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a linebacker.
I'm a setter. Shortstop.
High jumper. Wrestler.
Defender.
Goalie.
Student.
Student athletes.
That's who we are.
Division II student athletes, we are committed to being our best.
Division II National SAC is proud to partner with the Sports Science Institute to play a role in the cardiac safety and health of student athletes.
Although many student athletes with heart conditions live healthy, active lives, up to 10 NCAA student athletes die each year of sudden cardiac death during athletic activities.
The facts are that immediate delivery of CPR and AED saves lives, so everyone should be CPR and AED trained. Please join us in this important initiative. Make it yours.
Choosing the right college can be a challenge. Does it offer degrees suited to your career goals? Are emerging fields of study more your interest, like cybersecurity, gaming, or environmental science? What about extracurricular activities, such as campus life, study abroad, or honors? Are scholarships and financial assistance available? Columbus State University has always been one of the most affordable colleges in Georgia. Now it's also one of the fastest growing. When you ask the right questions, you'll find out why CSU should be.
Scott Miller, Mike Sanda back at Herbert Green Court inside the Lumpkin Center, about ready to get the second half underway with the Cougars up by 7.
Well, the first 5 or 6 minutes were not very good for CSU. I thought they played better in the last 7 or 8 minutes, able to stretch the lead out just a little bit. And I mentioned this to you in the first half. Be interested to see if Coach Gaines sticks with that 5 for 5 here in the second half. You know, you look, they have the old plus-minus stat. I would guess that second 5 was probably minus 10 or 11 versus CSU in that first half. So see if he sticks with it.
Cougars will have the ball first. Zay Horton comes over here right in front of us. And we are underway here in the second half on Herbert Green Court. Brian Gibbons, JT, Jalen Thomas behind the arc, right side. Off of a screen in the paint, and he's pushed. Justin Cave. Brian Gibbons will be the trigger man on the baseline to the left of the basket. The senior point guard out of South Bend, Indiana, gets it to JT. Short corner jumper, good.
Nice inbounds play by CSU. Coach Moore always does a great job with that, and they found JT coming off a pick, and he knocked it in.
So a good start to the second half here. Behind the arc on the right side is Jordan Thomas. Thomas driving to the basket, put it up short, rebound Cam Paulding. Outlet Bryant Gibbons. Gibbons into the front court, up the right side of the floor, pulls a 3, misses it. Rebound Bobcats.
Brian Gibbons now 0 for 3 from behind the arc, so he has gone into one of his shooting slumps.
Wesley Simpson with the ball in the logo. Gets it to Sloan up high, backdoor cut. Thomas knocked away from him. He gets it laying down on the floor, kicks it out to Cave, to Simpson up top for 3, good.
Weird play right there. You mentioned Jordan Thomas got the ball laying on his back, and it ends up being a Georgia College 3, so.
Just like they drew it up.
Yeah, exactly. Wesley Simpson now with 12 points.
35-29, ball knocked out of BG's hands. He got it back, tossed it out to JT. I thought he was throwing it to you.
It was close. Thankfully, JT there to intercept that.
Drives to the hoop, and offensive foul on Jalen Thomas.
It's one of those plays where JT committed the foul and he ran right to the bench.
Carl Lively checks in. Sometimes you just know.
You do. And that time JT knew, and he'll get a rest here early in the second half.
Simpson into the front court. Simpson gets it to Cave behind the arc on the right side. Zay Horton guarding him. Cave maintains the dribble, backs it out near the logo now. 9 on the shot clock. Thomas down the left side of the lane. Fingertip roll good.
I don't really understand why they don't go to him more. I understand he averages 19 a game, but they have not gone to him very much, and that was a beautiful move by Jordan Thomas.
Bobcats within 4. Zay Horton down the lane. Blocking foul. Wow. And the basket is good.
Zay Horton getting in the lane there. That ball that he put up on the rim had some serious English on it to crawl up over the rim and go in. That was really impressive.
Didn't look like it had a chance to go in.
Once it got up there, it had that spin on it and rolled up over the top of the rim.
And that's 3 fouls, by the way, on Big Chris Parks.
And Zay, in my opinion, needs to get it going over these last 6 or 7 games. He needs to get back to scoring, 19, 20 a game. I think that gives CSU the best chance to win.
Made the free throw, 38-31 Cougars, 17:26 to play. Simpson, head of the key. Cam Paulding's on him. Simpson will take a shot outside the lane and score.
Boy, Simpson having a nice game, and he drew Cam Paulding away from the basket that time.
BG to the baseline. Cam Paulding just inside the elbow. No good. Rebound Bobcats. Cougars get back on defense. Thomas pulls it up, gives it to Simpson. Play instructions from Coach Gaines over there. Simpson had it knocked out of his hands into the Georgia College bench. Still belongs to the Bobcats. Here comes Hunter Preston. Cam Paulding out. Simpson right in front of his bench. Gets it into Sloan. Sloan to Parks. Way out on the left wing. The big guy with 3 fouls goes to the hoop and misses. Hunter Preston tips it out to Bryant Gibbons, and he is sandwiched between 2 green jerseys and fouled in the backcourt.
Clear foul that time on Jordan Thomas. Pretty good shot to Bryant Gibbons.
It's another example on that rebound, what we were talking about in the first half with Hunter Preston. He got his hand on the ball to keep it alive.
He's just one of those guys that has a knack for doing that. And that comes from always being active, going after the ball, and Hunter Preston as good as anybody in this league at doing that.
We got the towel out. Brian Gibbons and Hunter Preston wiping up the sweat where the players hit the floor. Last Wednesday, we had that same towel out for a different reason and a bad reason. That's why we're playing tonight.
Exactly. No more towels.
No. All right. Carl gets it into BG into the front court. Cougars by 5, 16:29 to play. Anthony Moore, shot fake, dribbles in, scores.
It's a nice shot fake by Anthony Moore there. And Anthony understands he needs to get into that 12 to 14 foot range. Nice jumper there.
Into the front court, Simpson. Sloan down in the corner. Gets it to Big Parks. Reverse layup, air ball into the hands of Anthony Moore. To Zay Horton. Zay dishes it off to Hunter Preston. His shot is blocked. Deflection comes away to the Bobcats. Thomas driving hard to the hoop, and he scores.
Nice play that time by Jordan Thomas. Free lane to the basket, and he took it.
CSU up by 5. Bobcats not going away, are they? BG, Zay Horton. Baseline spins, drew the foul, missed the shot, will go to the line to shoot 2. I assume it's on the shot. We'll find out when we come back from the media timeout. 15:33 to play. Cougars up by 5 on Cougar Sports TV.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% will go pro.
That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
Cougars up by 5 at the first media timeout here in the second half.
So Georgia College has gained a little bit of ground here at the first media timeout. Georgia College still not shooting the ball very well, just 14 to 37, CSU 15 to 32. But, you know, you've said it more than once, Scott. Georgia College just hanging around. They refuse to go away.
And Zay Horton will indeed be at the line, shooting 2. Yeah, Mark Gaines does a nice job. You know, he's, as Robert mentioned in the pregame shows, he's off that Terry Sellers branch of the coaching tree, which comes from the Herbert Green tree.
Yes, he is, and his teams always fundamentally sound, always play hard. Certainly not the most talented group you'll see in the Peach Belt, but they give Coach Gaines everything they have.
Second one was good, 6-point lead, double him, and a foul on Carl Ivy.
You see the referee with that cylinder motion. Carl Ivy getting into his space, and the ref calling the foul there.
And that's basically what it is, isn't it? You got that space that you can't get into.
Yeah, that's correct, and proper call from the official.
Up top, kicked it out on the wing for 3, in and out, no good on the miss from Deckard. Rebound BG into the front court, down the right side of the lane, put the shot up, no, but tipped in by Anthony Moore.
Almost a pass there from Brian Givens. Really no shot of that going in from him, but Anthony Moore right there to clean it up.
Austin Deckard, Anthony Moore got a hand on it, couldn't quite come away with it. Baseline drive, shot off the glass, no. Anthony with a rebound, outlet to Brian Givens. BG into the front court, inside of the arc. Great pass inside to Moore. Layup good. What a pass.
Beautiful pass. Great vision that time from Brian Givens, and a beautiful cut from Anthony Moore. That was really pretty basketball.
Cougars up by 10. 14:22 to play. Crawford falls to the floor, but he's bumped.
There was a double dribble there, and it was right in front of the official, and he flat missed it. Richard Crawford with the double dribble.
Foul is on Hunter Preston. They get it in to Koneman. Koneman to Thomas in the key. This is the 5 reserves out there now. Up top, Thomas, mid-post, good pass to Koneman, off the glass, good, and he's fouled.
Well, the play there was made by Brandon Thomas. He backed his defender down into the lane and found Koneman, who has a chance for a 3-point play. So once again, just as it appears the game's going to get away from Georgia College, they make a nice play.
Carl Ivy out, Chris Horton in. Carl with 3 fouls. Free throw by Koneman is good. 45-38 Cougars, 14 minutes left. North Georgia is in here on Wednesday as we get back to the regularly scheduled games. Doubleheader, 5:30. BG Way out on the wing in front of our bench. Drives in, leaves it to Anthony Moore. Jumper in the key, no. Zay Horton kept it alive, tipped it out to Moore. Gets it to BG, gets it to Old School. Air ball long into the hands of Hunter Preston. They still didn't hit the rim, so there's 10 seconds on the shot clock. Brian Gibbons, head of the key, a long three, good!
Well, that 10 seconds on the shot clock is certainly no problem for Brian Gibbons. He can certainly get the ball to the rim or hit a jumper.
48-38. The five starters go back to the table for the Bobcats. Long three, no good. Bodies falling everywhere like a bowling alley with the pins dropping, and a whistle and a foul. Man,
a lot of contact, and as you said, Scott, bodies flying all over the place. CSU, the beneficiary there.
A.J. James getting called for the foul. Here comes the towel again. That same spot, ironically, it's about where the leak was last Wednesday night.
That was quite the strange scene the other night.
It first started, I first noticed it when Sports Information Director Josh Fuller, as the two teams were warming up, he kept looking up at the roof, at the ceiling, and I thought, I don't know what's going on, but this can't be good. And you couldn't really see it to begin with until you got out there. Then it got a little heavier. Anthony Moore, pass is too high for Hunter Preston off his fingertips. Unforced error there and a turnover. Simpson almost gave it right back to us. Cave, Jordan Thomas, Parks, head of the key. Cave slipped and fell on that same spot. Hunter Preston picks it up, layup good. And the official's going to call time to again wipe up the moisture on the floor. And doesn't have anything to do with the roof leaking. It's just basically in that one area, Mike. In the last, 2 or 3 minutes, we've had the towel out 3 times, wiping up moisture.
Well, when you made the bowling alley call a moment ago, there were a lot of bodies that hit the floor right in that area, and the sweat building up, and they obviously did not get it all last time. And at least nobody got hurt.
Yeah, he hit the floor hard.
He really did, and you hate to see that. CSU was able to get a run out there after the Georgia College player fell, and Hunter Preston doing a nice job just going and laying that ball in.
I see Todd Reeser, the athletic director, looking up to the roof, to the ceiling now. I think everybody's having the same conversation we've been having. It's just ironic that, and again, it has nothing to do with the leak on last Wednesday. It's ironic all of this is happening just about where the leak occurred.
It really is very strange, and you can look over there and see Todd having a bit of a nervous laugh over there, saying, please, not again.
He had a tough call to make last Wednesday, but it was the right call. The player's safety involved. The only call you can make. They throw the ball away out of bounds.
Bad pass there from Cave. So CSU with a 12-point lead. Need a good possession right here.
12:20 to play. Into the front court, Old School. Up top, left side, Zay Horton. Brian Gibbons, right wing. Hunter Preston, head of the key, puts it on the floor. Gets it to School, back to Hunter Preston, mid-post, back to BG. Gives it to Hunter, and a tomahawk dunk from Hunter Preston. Wow! And Zay Horton stole the ball. Look out! A two-handed dunk. And Zay Horton screams to the heavens. And it's a dunk fest all of a sudden here at Herbert Green Court. And timeout. Wow.
Wow is right, and I was waiting for the timeout from Georgia College. The dunk from Hunter Preston was unbelievable, and then right after that, Zay Horton, they threw it right to him, and man, that was a very impressive dunk by him. So good for you to Got your blood pressure up a little bit there in a hurry.
Woke me up. 11:34 to play. Cougars up 54-38 here on Cougar Sports TV.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Cougars up 54-38 after those two dunks that got the crowd up and roaring.
You won't see two better dunks than that. The one from Hunter Preston, a one-handed, left-handed dunk coming through the lane, and then Zay on the breakaway. I mean, that is a player's dream if you can dunk. Yeah, you know, if you can't dunk, you know, it's not so much. But boy, Zay's eyes lit up, and boy, did he dunk a good one there. That was nice.
Cougars with their biggest lead of the night, 54-38. Head of the key, they kick it out on the wing, down in the corner for three. Rattled out, no good. Hunter Preston got a rebound, outlet to Zay Horton. Zay pulls it at the right elbow, comes up short with it, and the rebound goes to Koneman.
That time, Zay really fell away that time, falling backwards on that shot, and most of the time it comes up short.
Crawford inside of the arc, and ball was kicked. And that'll get the actual media timeout with 10:58 to play. And the Cougars up 54-38 here on Cougar Sports TV.
Fall in love with sports, our universities are working every day to keep college sports safe, so you can watch them play with a little less worry and a little more joy.
Scott and Mike back at Herbert Green Court. Cougars up by 16, 10:58 to play.
This has been a game that's really been played inside the three-point arc, Scott. Just two makes for CSU and two for Georgia College. So a lot of two-point field goals in this game.
Bobcats with the ball, baseline to the left of their basket. Get it into Big Koneman up high, left side. Kicks it back down in the corner for three. No good. They tip a rebound out to Koneman. He'll take another shot at the three, and this time he makes it.
Boy, and on that possession, Bryant Givens just stood there and watched as Deckard went up and got the rebound that time. He has to box out.
Old school, left wing. BG way out on the right wing. Stanley Taylor up top for three. Wide right into the hands of the Bobcats.
I was worried about the cheerleaders on that one. It was
mascot alert.
Yes, that was ugly.
Head of the key for three. Speaking of ugly, wide left on that one from Deckard. Rebound CSU. A drive, Bryant Givens puts it up, no, but a blocking foul, and he'll go to the line to shoot a couple.
Well, after watching those two shots, there's a reason this game's being played inside the arc. And those two are the uglier ones we've seen all year.
2 3-point attempts, the head of the key on either end, and neither one hit the rim.
I was looking at Stanley Taylor there, Scott. It's always funny to me. He's rubbing his hands right now. You know, that one slipped, you know.
It's like the baseball player who makes the error and he looks at his glove.
It was the glove's fault, exactly.
And Hunter Preston getting the good housekeeping seal of approval down on the other end, wiping up some sweat under the basket where the bodies fell a moment ago.
Speaking of baseball, big win for the Cougars this weekend. This series win, correct?
Yeah, it took 2 out of 3 from Florida Southern. A couple of national powers going at it. BG makes the free throw and split the first 2 games, 6-3 Florida Southern, 6-3 CSU. And Sunday, Florida Southern led 7-0 and 9-2 before the Cougars came back to take a 10-9 win in dramatic fashion. And a really big series win.
Yeah, some of the baseball players in attendance tonight.
And they're having a good time. And they're rooting on the Cougars and rooting against the Bobcats. A drive into the paint, knocked out of his hands and out of bounds. They've picked out a favorite player, as so often happens in college basketball.
You don't want to be that guy.
Yes, that's right. That's the one time you don't want to be the favorite player. I remember a time driving down to the baseline, cutting it off, reverse layup, no. Stanley Taylor with the rebound, good defense there. Bryant Gibbons into the front court. I remember a time when the guy sitting next to me was a favorite player for a while. BG for 3. No, Hunter Preston grabbed a rebound. They knock it out of his hands. Only thing about that was the opposing crowd was all over Mike until he started draining three-point field goals, and things changed. You remember that?
I do, and it's your responsibility to get those people off your back. You know, you make a few shots, and then they start cheering for you.
That's exactly what happened that night in Atlanta. For 3, no. Backside rebound picked up by Bryant Gibbons. Kicks it out to Old School. Fumbled it. Good pass inside to Stanley Taylor. Off the glass, good.
Well, Stanley Taylor, after that last 3, decided he would go park himself down in the lane and get him an easy one there. And you're right, Scott, that was a nice dish from Old School.
Up top for 3, no. Rebound, Bryant Gibbons. Long pass out. Great pass to Hunter Preston. He's fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
I always love to see that. If a guy is going to run as hard as he can down the floor, it's the point guard's job to find him. And that time, Brian Gibbons, you're right. Boy, what a pass he made right on the money to Hunter Preston. And Hunter's going to get him a couple of free throws.
Hunter with 14 points, make it 15 tonight as he hits the free throw.
That's something Coach Green really used to, I can remember him saying that all the time. If you run, you have to run and you'll get rewarded. Whether it was you were a shooter spotting up or you're a post guy going to the block, if you run full speed, good things will happen.
60-41 as he made them both. 8:25 to go. Ball knocked away. Zay Horton picks it up. Zay back into the paint to the glass. Fingertip roll, good. And he's fouled. Count the bucket. Zay Horton doing Zay Horton things.
Yes, he is. And Zay now with 18 points, using those long arms there. Oh yeah, it's he contorts his body sometimes and takes contact and is still able to get the ball up over the rim. So Zay having a big night tonight.
And he'll go to the line. Hunter Preston comes out. High five down the line of the bench.
Well, he deserves high fives. Hunter Preston's been good again tonight.
63-41. So all of a sudden it's a big lead for CSU with 8:12 to play. There's a 3 is long on the wing. Rebound Cam Paulding. And he gets it to JT. Old School right wing. Cam Paulding up top. Gets it to Devin Porter Wilson. DP gets it back. Jumper in the key. Good.
Nice. Looked like he was looking to get that ball down in the post and said, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and shoot this thing. We're up 22?
Behind the arc on the right side, reversing it. 3 on the wing, in and out, no good. Devin Porter Wilson with a rebound. JT front court. DP for 3, no, up over the backboard and out of bounds. That'll get us to the media timeout. 7:20 to play. Cougars up 65-41 on Cougar Sports TV.
As Division II student athletes, we are committed to being our best.
Division II National SAC is proud to partner with the Sports Science Institute to play a role in the cardiac safety and health of student athletes.
Although many student athletes with heart conditions live healthy, active lives, up to 10 NCAA student athletes die each year of sudden cardiac death during athletic activities.
The facts are that immediate delivery of CPR and AED saves lives, so everyone should be CPR and AED trained. Please join us in this important initiative. Make it yours.
All right, Scott and Mike back here at Herbert Green Court. 65-41 Cougars. 7:15 to play. Blown open a close game here in the second half. 3 up top, no good. They get a rebound, though, and draw the foul, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Cam Paulding picking up the foul there.
That story I was talking about earlier was back when Mike was a freshman playing for Coach Herbert Green. We're playing at Morehouse. The place was packed that night, and Mike was skinny. What'd you weigh back then?
Probably either about a pound less or a pound more than 150.
And so the Morehouse crowd was all over him, of course, every time he touched it. And then Mike started draining threes from the corner, and all of a sudden they started cheering for him. That was a wild but fun night.
It really was one of those. Their gym back then very similar to Woodruff.
Yep.
Just there was tight quarters.
Couple of back-to-back turnovers and a two-handed dunk for Stanley Taylor.
Nice pass that time from Devin Porter. Or is that Old School? I think Old School made the pass to Stanley Taylor with the dunk.
67-43. Yeah, that old Morehouse gym was tight. They were right on top of you. Baseline drive, kick it out. Head of the key for 3. No, they missed a bunch of threes here. Rebound CSU.
A tough shooting night for Georgia College.
And they knocked the ball out of bounds. Yeah, that was one of their old gym. They've got a much bigger gym now and have had for years. Their old one, that was a great home court advantage for those guys.
It was, and man, they had some good players. One of their players ended up playing the NBA for a few years. He was really talented.
We used to play so many SIAC games. We qualified for a championship if they would have let us. Down in the corner, Tay for 3, no good. Rebound, Old School. His pass into Cam Paulding is off his hands and a turnover. Head of the key for 3, good this time from Wesley Simpson.
Wesley Simpson having a good night, 17 points for him.
67-46.
But the thing about playing those SIAC schools is you never really knew what you were going to see from one night to the next. It was there's some crazy stories from back then.
including a tire rolling down the middle of the floor at Albany State one night. Not just a tire, but a tire with a hubcap on it.
It was a tractor tire that came rolling out there, and it was funny. Coach Green never missed a beat, just rolled right by, and he said, all right, let's keep playing.
Coach Jones, who was the coach, the famous Jones family, was the coach for Albany State then. School, runner in the lane, no good, and the ball was knocked out of bounds. And Herbert always told the story for years that Coach Jones just walked over, calmly picked up the tire, put it behind his bench like it happened every night. Timeout is called by Georgia College, and it'll turn into a full timeout, and we'll take it with the Cougars up 67-46 on Cougar Sports TV.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
.526 left in this one, 67-46, Columbus State on top. And Cougars with the ball. JT, baseline, gets it to Stanley Taylor. Devin Porter Wilson hands it back to JT. We've got 4 of the 5 players on the court now, local players from Columbus, Phoenix City. Ball knocked away.
Yeah, they got a foul there on Jordan Thomas. So old school, going to get him a couple of free throw attempts.
So Chris Horton out of Shaw High School. Free throw is good. And that's school's first point of the night. 68-46. And that one's good. North Georgia is in here on Wednesday. 5:30 for the women, 7:30 for the men. 3 is good by Jordan Thomas.
Jordan Thomas, really good player. Been kind of quiet tonight, just 11 points, but he is clearly their best player.
Into the front court. School kicks it to Stanley Taylor, trying a one-handed dunk, but Sloan got a hand on it. Tay got it back, missed the putback, and then knocked out of bounds.
I can tell you right now, Scott, Stanley Taylor is going to catch some flack for that. He was pinned on the rim, and don't think for a second those guys on the bench aren't going to let him hear about that one.
Cam Paulding, mid-post, in the lane, off the glass, no. Rebound goes to the Bobcats. Thomas into the front court, pulls a 3, no, but he's fouled by Chris Horton, who's a three-point shooter, so he should know better, but he fouled him.
Yes, he should know better, and he does know better. He's upset with himself. Bad foul there.
He got running straight at him and couldn't stop.
Got his momentum going too much toward the shooter. I think the last question that needs to be answered in this game is Hunter Norman going to see the floor? The baseball team is dying for him to get on the court.
The baseball team has adopted Hunter Norman, the freshman for the Bobcats, as their favorite player, and they were cheering him on in the warm-ups at halftime before the game, and they were imploring the assistant coach to put him in the game as he was going to the locker room at the half. Their assistant coach, you remember him, Ryan Aquino,
Yeah, he was a really, really good player.
And Thomas steals the ball and lays it up and in. 69-53. And in the backcourt, Thomas fouls Robert Davis Jr. And Robert will go to the line to shoot 2 in the double bonus.
So Coach Gaines has not waved the white flag quite yet. Georgia College still pressing and fouling.
So Robert Davis Jr. out of Clinton, Mississippi. Free throw good.
If Hunter Norman does get in the game and happens to make a shot, the baseball team, they'll come unglued up there.
The 5-for-5 swap out all night, and Hunter is not included in that 5-for-5. He's number 11 over there.
Poor guy.
Free throw is good. Maybe they're redshirting him.
Possible.
71-53. 4:07. Drives to the elbow, kicks it out for 3, in and out, no good. Rebound, Bryant Givens. BG, bad pass, but it's deflected to Robert Davis Jr. Robert, free throw line, in the paint, had it knocked away, loose on the floor, picked up by Crawford. Robert Crawford III. Get it out for 3, no good. Backside rebound, knocked out of bounds by CSU. And timeout is called. And we'll take it. 3:27 to play. All Cougars 71-53 on Cougar Sports TV.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
These are your teams.
.327 to go here. CSU up 71-53. Bobcats with the ball. Get the ball in at the head of the key. Deckard drives into the paint, missed the shot, and Evan Porter Wilson grabs the rebound. Into the front court, Cam Paulding fumbled a pass away and then diving on the floor. And going to get called for the foul.
Coach Moore tried to bring some of the backups in, and they just evidently didn't feel like playing this evening, so Coach Moore having to bring Bryant Givens back in, Zay Horton back in, Anthony Moore coming back in. Imagine the backups may get an earful from Coach Moore.
And this will put Koneman at the line. Still a 1-and-1. That's the 7th team foul, and Koneman's first free throw is good.
And the game really is clearly over at this point, but if Coach Moore puts you in there and you're going to make lazy plays and you don't feel, act like you don't feel like playing, you're going to come back over there and sit.
Second one by Koneman is good, 71-55. Zay Horton back court. They double team him, and he throws a bad pass. Deckard comes away with it, pulls a 3 and misses. And then they try to save it from going out of bounds, but do not. belongs to CSU.
Things have gotten extremely sloppy here late.
Bobcats will press full court. Zay gets it in. Just ticked under the 3-minute mark. Horton into the front court. Zay gives it up to BG. Driving into the key down the lane. Bounce to Devin Porter-Wilson. Stanley Taylor. Cougars run some clock now. Toss it back out to Anthony Moore. 9 on the shot clock. Anthony, Stanley Taylor, jumper inside the free throw line, no good. Rebound, Devin Porter-Wilson kicks it out to Bryant Gibbons. Had a shot, but wisely running clock, pulled it back. Anthony Moore, Zay Horton. Right elbow jumper is no good. Rebound knocked out of bounds. A foul on Anthony Moore.
Good call there from the officials. Zay not able to convert with that free throw line jumper, and Anthony Moore crashing right over the top of Brandon Thomas.
So the Cougars have done what they needed to do here tonight, Mike. A 2-game losing streak coming off of a horrible second half, losing at a very good Lander team on Saturday.
Well, they have, excuse me, Scott, they've come in and taken care of business. I don't think they played very well, though, and that's what they need to really focus on. They need to sharpen things up for the stretch run.
Missed the second one, 71-56. North Georgia's in here on Wednesday night, and the Cougars owe the Nighthawks a little something after taking it on the chin up there this year. Ball is stolen in the backcourt. Zay Horton got a hand on it, blocked the shot out of bounds, touched last by the Bobcats.
So the Bobcats get a steal and unable to convert. That was really good hustle by Zay Horton, staying with the play.
2 minutes. Devin Porter-Wilson is double teamed. Anthony Moore up top. Anthony gets it to DP, kicks it out to Zay. 18 on the shot clock. Zay dribbles up near the logo. The baseball team starts the Norman chant. BG on the wing. 3 on the shot clock. In the lane, Anthony Moore, tip in good.
I'm not sure if that was a shot or a pass, but I'm assuming they will give Brian Gibbons an assist. Man, athletic play from Anthony Moore there.
Ball stolen by Zay Horton. He's ahead of the field, and a windmill dunk that he misses.
Well, you know, I thought that Stanley Taylor would be the butt of the jokes, but now Zay Horton has certainly taken that spot from him.
He tried to put a little extra sauce on that one.
Yes, he did. And you ever turned over a ketchup bottle and it all comes out at once? That's what happened there. That was a bit of a snafu from Zay Horton.
Yeah, Zay's got a big grin on his face. Head of the key. Koneman for 3. Good. Timeout. Georgia College, 73-59. Cougars will just hold it right here. As the baseball team chants Norman again. I don't know, the odds are looking like Norman's not going to get in the game.
I don't think so, and that's a real disappointment. I would love to see him get out there and get some time, and I'd actually like to see him hit a shot, see what the baseball guys would do up there, but they are into the game, and they were here the other night when they canceled the game, and we talked about it, Scott. That was the biggest crowd of the year. Unfortunate for CSU. Boy, that dunk from Zay Horton, that would have stretched it out to 19, and as you said, he really tried to get maybe just a wee bit too fancy on that one, the windmill, and tried to cuff it and met the rim.
And he's sitting by Hunter Preston over there right now, trying to explain to him about what was going on, what he had in mind. And there's a foul.
Well, he can explain all he wants to.
Well, they say the video doesn't lie.
Yes.
So we have slowed to a backup here, not even a crawl, a backup here the last couple of minutes.
The game's really been ugly over the last 5 or 6 minutes.
BG's free throw is good.
This will be CSU's 8th conference win. They'll go to 8-6, 13-9 overall.
Second one's good. 75-59, 57 seconds left. Koneman for three, no. Rebound CSU, long pass to Bryant Gibbons. Coach Gaines says no fouls. DP kicks it back to Anthony Moore. 13 on the shot clock. Moore starts toward the hoop. Jumper outside the lane, no good. Rebound Bobcats with 24 seconds. And Chris Old School Horton just stole a cross-court pass with 15 seconds. And that'll do it as the Cougars have won 75-59 as the final seconds tick off the clock. And in the 80th meeting between these two old rivals, it goes to the Cougars.
Well, CSU did not play their best game tonight, but clearly the more talented team. And we're getting to that point in the season, Scott, where they need to kind of pull things together and improve and get ready, because the conference tournament will be here before you know it. They stand 8-6 right now, 2 games behind Augusta for that crucial 4th spot. You get to 4th, you get to host a playoff game, and they're still very much in that mix.
All right, Mike, enjoyed it. We'll see you just in a couple of days, Wednesday night.
Absolutely, look forward to it.
Mike Sanda, former Cougar great, and we'll talk with Coach Robert Moore coming up here. So don't go away. The coach is coming over here on Cougar Sports TV.
These are your teams, your players, your community of fans. This is where they play, where they practice, where you cheer. At every meet, every event, every game. Your community is passionate, dedicated, supportive. You know the tension of a close game and the thrill of the win. So while you're cheering, keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Scott Miller at Herbert Green Court here at the Lumpkin Center, and Coach Robert Moore joins us as the Cougars have won 75-59. Robert, congratulations.
Thank you, Scott.
Well, it was a game where a little slow starting for both teams, but it sort of fit the night. It's just an unusual night with this makeup game here.
Probably an unusual night for both teams. Our guys came out a little sluggish. Their guys came out a little sluggish. I think both teams were like 1 for 7, 1 for 8 from 3. And then as time went on, we picked it up. Glad we had the 1-3-1 zone working tonight. Got a lot of traps, a lot of steals, and got out in some fast breaks. So good game for the Cougars tonight.
Well, it's a nice bounce back into the win column here. And Zay Horton tonight was doing Zay Horton things, 19 points and 6 rebounds.
Oh, yeah. Anytime Zay can get going. I thought the first game back against Lander, he was a little sluggish. Tonight he really showed what Zay can do in this league, and I thought he carried us.
Speaking of a guy doing his own thing, Hunter Preston doing Hunter Preston things. This guy, he's just amazing. 16 points. He had 4 rebounds. And he gets, Mike and I were talking, Robert, during the game. He gets credit for less rebounds than he's really responsible for because he gets a hand on everything to keep it alive.
Oh, yeah. Hunter's just so active. when he played in junior college, I thought he was the leading rebounder offensively, rebounds in the nation. And he's one of those guys that, just like you said, play with so much energy. He's always around the ball. And Scott, more than anything, he's given us a low post score that me and you talked about. Like when them shots ain't going, you got to go to Hunter. And I think he's been doing a good job for us.
Well, we also had a double-digit night from Anthony Moore with 12 and Bryant Gibbons with 10, so balanced scoring tonight.
Oh, yeah. I thought you had to move the ball around against Georgia College. They're one of those teams that like kind of slow it down, and I thought our guys put a lot of pressure on them tonight.
Pepsi player of the game?
Let's go with Zay Horton. He's back. He got us started, and I thought he did a great job tonight.
All right, so Zay Horton, the Pepsi player of the game, and now we're back to the regular schedule Wednesday night, when North Georgia comes in, and we owe those guys a little something, don't we?
Yeah, I thought it was one of our worst games of the season compared to the second half of Lander. I thought we just didn't come in with no energy. They got a good guard in Shamunga. We got to keep him out of the lane. They got shooters. So I think our guys, this game can really prepare us for North Georgia because they have shooters just like Georgia College. So if we can guard the three-point line, rebound the basketball, and create some turnovers, I like our chances.
It's a big game for both your team and Coach Matt Hauser's team, the women's team. So I know we were looking for a lot of fans out here on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. I thought we had a late arriving crowd today, but, you know, it was a makeup game. A lot of people probably know we played. But Wednesday night, we need to pack the Lumpkin Center because, you know, North Georgia comes to town. They got a great women's team. Their men are kind of struggling a little bit, but they're still a good team. So we just want everybody to come out and watch both teams.
You're now, my friend, one win away from tying the legendary Frank Sonny Clements for second most wins here.
You don't know how many calls I've got about Coach Clemens, who was a great coach, great man. He came around a lot when his health was good. He used to sit right up at the top and watched all our games. He's been very supportive. Just being in that talk with Sonny Clemens and Herbert Green is always good, Scott. And I've been around a long time, and I owe it to all those guys. They taught me a lot, and I'm just going to try to keep this program going in the right direction.
That away, my friend. Talk to you Wednesday.
All right, thank you.
Coach Robert Moore, the Cougars have won this one 75-59. That's going to wrap it up here. We thank you for tuning in tonight. And once again, your final score, Columbus State 75, Georgia College 59. And on this winning night from the Lumpkin Center at Herbert Green Court, this is Scott Miller saying so long, everyone.